Hi, folks. This is Rick Emmett of Triumph.
This is Mark Merrill, also known as Johnny B. Bad.
Hi, this is a best-selling author. I threw the best-selling there. Best-selling author Dick Wybrow.
I'm Melanie from Second Shooter.
This is Jeff with Second Shooter.
Hey everybody, it's Brian Allen from Bridges Ablaze.
Hey, this is Sammy Lee, drummer of the band Red Rain.
Yo guys, it's Mark McKay.
Hey, this is Frank Fletcher.
Hola amigos, this is Billy Sheehan.
Hey guys, this is John Karabi.
Hi, this is Jim Valance.
What's up everybody, it's Logan from All the Pretty Things.
Hey guys, it's Leather Leone.
This is Nothing from Inside the Trojan Horse.
What's up guys, Cassandra Carson here from Paralandra and the Life Project.
My name's Reggie and you are listening to the Weekly Pour podcast. Thanks so much for joining the most amazing twosome out there.
It's time once again for the Weekly Pour, the show that knows everything about absolutely nothing. Here are your hosts, TBT and Ace.
I swear, we're really here.
Where are
sometimes, sometimes technology doesn't work. Anyway, there we are. Welcome to episode 180 of the Weekly Pour podcast. I am TBT. That guy over there is Ace, who once again has another background, as do I this week. We're keeping you on your toes. If you were watching this live or watching a replay, welcome. We appreciate it. Be sure, if you are live, to jump into that chat, say hello. You'll run into some of our regulars, of course, moderator Natalie, who is always ready to go. That's not true. But who is always ready to go is Mama TBT, who once again, for the 623rd time, was first as she waits. But here we are. Yes. What a streak. 600 and whatever it was I said. And we're only at the 180th show. This is quite a record. 180 episodes over the course of 5 years. Do the math, because I'm not. And hello to Mrs. TBT, of course, because I would be in trouble if I didn't say hi to her. So yeah, if you're watching live, jump in. If you are not in the chat, at least stop in and say hello. If you're listening to us and not watching, welcome. Don't forget to stop at the stoplights. You better have your seatbelt on. And don't drink and drive, right? That's the thing to say.
Are you the father of the road?
Yes, I am today. Yes, only because I am driving what I was told earlier appears to be one of those little tyke vehicles that you buy your children and they use their feet to pedal.
Pedal car?
I am currently driving one of those because, of course, if you remember from last week's episode, I talked about getting attacked by Bigfoot, and I dropped my vehicle off today. And bless this place for providing me a loaner. Phenomenal. Fantastic. I appreciate it. But it looks like a little tyke vehicle.
Well, and you're a bigger guy. So I bet squeezing into that thing is fun.
It wasn't so bad, but it's a lot different than an SUV.
It's not.
I don't even know if it has headlights.
It's not a little smart car, is it?
No.
Those crack me up.
I would have walked.
Well,
twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not a smart car. It is an eco boost vehicle of some sort. I don't know.
And they say that, but what does that even mean? Like, my truck has that.
I don't know.
It pops on when I hit a certain speed, eco, and then it goes away because I probably drive too fast. And right. I don't know how it works and what it does.
I don't either. I have no clue. So if you see me driving around town, please honk, say hi, and point and laugh.
Well, how long are they going to have your car?
Until it's done.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all I know. I suggested 2 weeks, but I was told today when I dropped it off that it shouldn't take that long. I'm not really sure what that means.
That's good.
But it shouldn't take that long.
When I hit the deer a while back.
Can we get this straight? I did not hit a deer.
When the deer hit me a while back. No.
Okay.
The deer hit me.
Sure.
I took it probably to the same place you did. And it was a lot longer of a wait because there was a rash of Bigfoot sightings and Bigfoot collisions.
Right.
A rash.
A rash.
So
It was almost like there was a swath through the area. Speaking of swath, we must say hi to Swath McFook, who is in the chat as well. There, had to get the swath out so that she did not feel left out. And I believe it was last Friday, I actually ran into the swath at her place of employment.
literally?
Well, no, not like Bigfoot. But I got to see her, so it was nice seeing her. She gives good hugs.
Aw.
Yeah, she does. But it was good to see her, so that was good. She get like right into my swath and bam.
Oh, okay. So she hit you.
Yeah, she did.
You got a rash of things happening to you.
Yeah, I know. Happens in threes. But it already happened in the third. The third was already happened. I'll talk to you about that off the air. Nothing bad. I'm just dealing with an animal that has an attitude.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the middle child.
No, he would be the youngest, actually. Yeah. He would be the youngest. So
you've got a big event tomorrow. Right?
I do not have a big event tomorrow. I was going to mention that later on, but since you brought it up, we can get right into it. A couple days ago, as I'm sitting here at the wonderful studio doing prep work for this show, I get an email and then I get a text and then I get an email, like all back to back to back. And I'm looking, I'm like,
wow.
What is going on? And of course, it's from Live Nation. It's from Ticketmaster. I'm like, what is going on? Your event that was scheduled for tomorrow, Thursday, May 7th, has been postponed.
Really?
Until July.
Really?
So there were two shows. There was one in Columbus, Ohio, which I believe was supposed to have either taken place tonight or last night or a couple days ago, whatever. Because that was the stop prior to going to Indianapolis. And then, of course, there was Indianapolis tomorrow. Those two shows, as far as I know, it was only those two. Those two were postponed due to unforeseen circumstances. Could be an illness. Who knows? There are rumors, which I cannot confirm, so I am not talking smack, but there are rumors that these dates were postponed because they coincided with another major event that Mr. Blood wanted to attend.
So what would that be? Did you look?
I did, and I forgot what it was, but I'm going to pull it up now. So
this is interesting.
Did
Youngblood not know this event was going on when he made the tour schedule?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
Just for clarity, TBT was going to the Youngblood show tomorrow in Indianapolis at White River State Park.
Right. Or whatever they call it. Everclear or
Everwire or Everwise.
Yeah, I think it's Everwise. I'm going to try to find it. I should have had this pulled up because it was just one of those rumors.
But I looked at the set list from 2 shows ago, and that was interesting to me because it's a 14-song list. And I mean, I wondered what he would have to do because he's not well known. He doesn't have a lot of work. He's got a lot of albums, but they're not all well known.
So what was put out was vocal strain and health issues. Okay. We get that. We see that a lot. We know that's what vocalists do. I don't think this was far into the tour, these two dates.
No.
That had to be postponed. I'm still trying to find this. Of course, now that I'm looking for it, I'm not going to be able to find it. But there was some big event that was going on somewhere that allegedly he wanted to attend. So in order for him to attend, he had to postpone these tours. They weren't canceled, which is fantastic. They were just postponed. Again, I don't know if it's true. That, you know, his schedule screwed up being able to go to this. Anyway, I can't find it. So
it wasn't the Met Gala, was it?
Yes, if that just happened over the last couple of days, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, that just occurred the other day, the Met Gala.
That I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Really?
Yeah. The thing is, though, if that was the case, then why don't we see pictures of him there?
I was just wondering. We saw a lot of other things going on, people, celebrities, and such.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is
oh wow, that popped up, dude. It says no, he was not at the Met Gala. When I did a Google search, that popped right up.
See, Google knows all.
He was touring in Michigan and rescheduled U.S. tour dates at that time, having recently been in Los Angeles for the Elton John AIDS Foundation Oscar party in March.
Right.
Okay.
Well, so and we all know how rumors go. They get started because somebody gets ticked off, and they, I'm going to say that's probably why, because, you know, I wanted to go see him so bad, so he's not going to be here. So he canceled because he wanted to go to the Met Gala. I mean, really, who cares? It was postponed. Yeah, is it inconvenient that we're going from a Thursday to now a Tuesday night show? Absolutely. Very inconvenient. But whatever. It's the summer concert series. Just go. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because what was scheduled to be a phenomenal thing to do tomorrow turned into just another day at work.
Well, I find it interesting, though. If you cite vocal strain, exhaustion, you know, whatever, I kind of get it. If you just blow it off, if the rumor is true and you just blow it off because there's something else you'd like to do better,
sure,
that's not cool.
Yeah,
that's
not very cool.
Especially when you're trying to gain ground here in the U.S. Now, I don't know Youngblood, obviously, but he seems to be very sincere in his love of the music and his relationship with his fans. So I would think that maybe he wouldn't just blow a show off.
Exactly. Whether it was for the Met Gala or not, I don't think it's that important. Is it cool? Sure. I'm sure it is absolutely cool. But he's not going to do that. What is today? Today is the 6th, correct? Yes. Wednesday, May 6th. Right. We're talking about a tour date. Let me let you know now that our friend, the sheriff, is actually in Oshkosh, Wisconsin tonight with his job. And it just so happens that he was able to finish his daily work today and will be, if memory serves me correct, at the Oshkosh Arena tonight for Bush.
Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah?
For Bush. One of the cool things about that, though, is that I believe Mammoth is also on that bill.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So very cool. He sent me a picture of his, with Mammoth and James and the Cold Gun. No idea who that is. But as we talked about either last episode or the episode before, Mammoth getting ready to go on their own headlining tour as they finish out these dates with Bush. And I think they've got maybe 6 or 7 more shows on that tour. I think it finishes up on May 15th. So we're looking at like next week. So yeah, very cool for him to be able to go and really just see Mammoth. I don't know about the other band. I was never real big on Bush. Don't like Bush very much. Tolerate Bush when you have to. But Mammoth will be an absolutely awesome show. And I told him to take some footage so that we could use it.
Is that who he wanted to see? Was Mammoth?
I don't think he cared.
It was a good show while he was in town. Something to do.
Yeah. And I think it was like, oh, it was mammoth. So yeah, very cool. I'm stoked. I can't wait to hear about it and see some of the stuff that he decides to send. He's actually in the 8th row.
Oh,
So
wow.
he's gonna have some fantastic seats on that, which is very cool. So happy for him. Can't wait to see that footage. We will go back to we do have the option until sometime in June to get a refund on those Youngblood
Nice.
tickets.
Nice.
So far, everyone that had planned on going, they still want to go. So we're going to make Tuesday, whatever the date is in July, we're going to make it work. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That is no longer now the first concert of the year. Now it is the next to last. The first one is still going to be, what is it going to be now? June 13th. And that's going to be in Terre Haute, and that's going to be Warrant with Firehouse and Bullet Boys.
Nice.
So let's wait another month before the first concert. But moderator Natalie actually made a good point. She said at least it'll be warm and maybe not rainy. Because if it was tomorrow, it's been kind of chilly. It's like February.
That was my concern for you and your shaved pate. I was afraid that you might catch a cold.
Right.
Because it was going to be partly cloudy all day. I think the low was 40.
Probably.
And the high around 60. So by the time the show starts,
yeah,
it's going to be a little chilly.
I've been cold.
What if it did rain? You'd be in the pavilion, though, right?
Correct.
Yeah, you're safe.
Yeah, unless the wind's blowing. And then I'm not.
Nah, you're fine.
So yeah, that'll be it'll be our luck. It'll rain when we go to Terre Haute.
Right.
Because there is no pavilion for that.
No, at the mill?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's wide open space.
Yeah. And no, we are not going to see the Dixie Chicks. Speaking,
they're not the Dixie Chicks now.
Whatever. They were when they sang that song.
Yes.
And you're correct, moderator Natalie. Mrs. TBT does not like to be cold. Oh boy. And then someone, I'm not going to name any names, but it rhymes with Pam, says it would have warmed up when he took the stage. Oh, here we go.
That goes right into the whole middle-aged woman. They all love this guy.
I know.
It's all women our age or a little older. It's fascinating to me. Fascinates me.
Okay, why do you think I'm going with 4 other women? It's the smart thing to do. Speaking of what possibly may be the absolute smart thing to do, we've got some news coming out of Mötley Crüe camp, which kind of is interesting. There's no kind of to it. It is very interesting because I did not see this coming. But in what was announced yesterday, and I'm sure other people have seen it already on the episodes, the 3-hour episode of the final episode of American Idol is supposed to air this coming Monday. I think it is May 11th. I think that's Monday.
Right.
3 hours. It is going to be on ABC. Comes on at 8 p.m. And it will feature the top 3 contestants performing, and whoever gets the most viewer votes will win the show. This is your American Idol. Yeah. One of the coolest things that could probably happen on American Idol, almost, because I thought that Billy Idol was pretty badass. Mötley Crüe and Shinedown, among others, will perform on the season finale of American Idol. You and I both have some thoughts on this.
Yes.
So
I think. Go ahead.
Well, let me throw this in here. Some other artists that are expected to appear, other than Mötley Crüe and Shinedown, include Clay Aiken, of course, former American Idol, Jason Mraz, Nelly, En Vogue, Tori Kelly, know the name, don't know the person. Blues Traveler.
They're touring, by the way. That's fascinating.
Yeah, and the Gin Blossoms,
who are touring right now. That's awesome.
Headlining that group, maybe, is Mötley Crüe. Why are they doing this, you ask? Well, I'm glad you ask, because it's pretty simple. Because if you remember, kicking off on July 17th in Burgettstown, Pennsylvania, is the upcoming Return of the Carnival of Sins tour, which celebrates the 20th anniversary of Mötley Crüe's groundbreaking 2005-2006 Carnival of Sins tour, and of course the 45th anniversary of the band. They are doing a 33-city Live Nation produced trek, and like I said, it kicks off on July 17th. So why not start drumming up some interest in Mötley Crüe? Would I do it singing alongside Shinedown? No.
Shinedown is probably doing this because they have their new record coming out. 8 will be out shortly. I would guess that's why they're being represented here.
Right.
And your thoughts on this?
I'm stoked. I mean, as much crap as the Crüe gets, and they talk about how, Vince and his singing ability or lack of, just the fact that what he went through, and he basically said, I'm not giving up yet. And now they're going on a 33-city tour. Bring it on. Bring it on. I'm excited about it. I will, if I don't catch it live, then I will immediately watch the replay, the following morning. Because, I'm old and I don't stay up late.
It's worth watching for a few reasons. But what's really cool about Mötley Crüe appearing on this, it still shows some relevancy to them. American Idol is still a pretty popular network show.
Sure.
It still gets a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And Mötley Crüe being there, I think, pretty good exposure for them.
Oh, it totally is.
I think it is. I think it's great exposure, and I think it's great exposure for Shinedown.
All of them.
Now, the question we talked about before the show is it fair, though, if you're singing live, to put Vince right there on the same stage as Brent Smith? Totally different singers. We can't compare the two.
No.
And Vince probably doesn't care. He's going to be Vince. If they're singing live, I don't know if they're going to allow that.
Which they may not, and that may not be the choice of the band. That just may be what the network executives say. Now, somebody's going to say, well, are they actually performing or are they just showing up? No, what's being said is that they will perform on the season finale of American Idol. So should be interesting. I hope it's good. I'm sure it will be. They're not going to let them. I don't think they're going to let them on there and be like, "Oh, wow." They should be like David Lee Roth, and just be done. But no, looking forward to it. That's again this Monday, the 11th at 8 p.m. on ABC. And if you haven't got your tickets, be sure to try to get tickets for that tour. I know they were going to be in Indianapolis on. Oh, I should have just kept this pulled up. Saturday, August 28th of this year. So another late summer tour. That is the last one on my list to attend.
I've not watched American Idol in a very long time.
Okay.
So I may be out of the loop a bit on this, but are these winners still promoted and on radio and household names and that sort of thing like they used to be?
So
I don't know anyone that's won in the last several years.
I don't either. But it's funny you say that because I kind of chuckled at a comment that moderator Natalie said. She says, good grief. I just saw on Facebook that Clay Aiken just released a new song. Okay, great.
Right.
What did he release it on? Facebook? But no matter what, I'm assuming he was a winner. I don't remember. I do remember him being on the show, but I don't remember if he was a winner or not. Still doing music. I mean, you look at somebody like Kelly Clarkson, still
Huge.
doing music,
Huge.
still doing her talk show. So yeah, I think to answer your question, sure, Carrie Underwood. I don't think she's ever stopped.
No, we know that.
Right. What are you
But at
talking?
what
You're
point?
talking like recent.
I'm talking about recent people.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm saying is Kelly Clarkson arguably is the biggest star to come out of that show. Carrie Underwood would be right up there with her, if not just as big, right?
Sure.
But after I don't know, 7-8 seasons or so, I don't know if I remember who won, and I don't know if any songs have come out or records, or if they've even made a ripple. And that could be just the nature of the recording industry anyway. The way, we've talked about that, how things come and go on the charts.
Right.
But I don't know if they make a splash anymore. Is what I'm saying.
Don't know. I'm kind of with you. I've not really watched it. This season, I watched a few episodes, really just because I wanted to see the auditions. Because for me, that's the funnest part. I do know that they brought in some talent to help coach some of these performers. Some of the performers have sang before. I mean, good grief, the lead singer of Great White was on the show. So
right.
So yeah, some of them probably. I don't know. I just did a quick Google search of the top American Idol winners, and of course it was the two we mentioned, Carrie Underwood and of course Kelly Clarkson. But there's also the mention of Clay Aiken,
Chris Daughtry, but he didn't win.
He didn't win, and I was strictly looking for winners. So, I mean, but there's another one right there that has Adam Lambert has with all of his stuff with Queen. So does it still produce superstars? Yes. Does it still produce mediocre stars? Sure. But I don't know anyone that still listens to Ruben Stoddard, Clay Aiken,
Bo
or any of the
Bice.
others. Sure. Yeah, no clue. And that's not taking anything away from them. That's just saying, if they won, they still won.
I think I'd have to check, but I think Bo Bice is actually in Three Dog Night or Grand Funk Railroad.
Oh, you're going to make me look for it. Bo Bice. Blah, blah, blah. How about Blood, Sweat, and Tears?
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's got a gig.
Who's one of the biggest gig getters? Let me see if I can pull that one out of you from American Idol.
What do you mean?
Okay, so he's in Three Dog Night. What's another person that's now in a band, that's constantly touring, releasing new songs, at least for the past couple of years, has released a couple good songs, if not 3 or 4.
You're talking about in a band.
Yep.
Shoot. Spark my memory.
Well, if I spark your memory, then you're going to know.
Well, yeah. That's the point, isn't it?
What about Nate Peck?
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Nate Peck from Firehouse, of course, who has been with Firehouse since 2024. He was a 2023 American Idol contestant, but I don't believe he won. But that doesn't matter. He's still someone that caught the attention of someone else.
Yes.
And was like, oh, listen to this dude's vocals. And Firehouse is sitting here, releasing, I think it's been 2 singles now with Nate Peck on vocals. My gosh. When we went and seen them, I know personally, I was blown away.
Yeah, he's very good.
Oh, man. And
he's very good.
Super looking forward to seeing him again next month. Actually reached out to him probably about a month ago. Because of the show and everything, and reached out, and hopefully will be some follow up to that later on. But yeah, that's another person I think that has definitely it made it to the top, in my opinion.
So what I'm looking at here is a standout that's listed is someone named Jamal Roberts, season 23 in 2025, but he is doing well in the gospel genre.
Okay.
Good for him, but to me that's not like impacting pop music.
Sure.
But it got him into the area he wanted to be in, obviously. You don't go into gospel music unless you want to be in gospel music.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But nonetheless, it's very cool to see whether you're winning or not winning. You're getting that attention. That attention's being put out there, and some of these people are really making a big difference. And I think it's kind of cool to see. So it'll be interesting this Monday, 8:00 p.m. on ABC to see Mötley Crüe. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, most definitely. A few episodes ago, we also talked about the upcoming book that is being released by Alex Van Halen. The book is called Van Halen. Well, we've got some more details that have been released. Genesis Publications released this information yesterday. They have announced that pre-orders are now open for Van Halen, written and signed by Alex Van Halen. Of course, this is the official chronicle of the band, published in a limited edition of only 1,500 signed and numbered copies worldwide. The electronic version will not be signed. The book traces the brothers, of course, Eddie and Alex, traces their journeys from their childhood in Pasadena, California, and the band's early days playing backyard parties to the release and world tour of their chart topping album 1984. This book features a dynamic blend of iconic photography alongside rare and never seen before images, with exclusive access to Alex Van Halen's private archives. Van Halen offers a personally guided tour through the band's legendary rise. Very cool. So you know what I did?
What?
I clicked
you had
the
to
link.
look for it.
I did. Yeah. I clicked the link because if there's only 1,500 copies, I wanted to take a look and see, well, what's it going to cost TBT to get one? So I clicked it. TBT will not be getting one. I'll go ahead and announce that now. The Van Halen book, you can get it at genesis-publications.com. That is not a free promo, but you can get it there. The book is available for pre-order, of course. Collector's copies, number 351 to 1,500 are presented as collector box sets, each containing a copy of Van Halen, hand-signed by Alex Van Halen, completing the strictly limited edition of 1,500 copies worldwide. I'll get into the other ones here in a minute. Each collector copy is quarter bound in black vegan leather because they don't want to do one in carnivore leather. I don't know. I don't understand vegan leather. It's made from a cow. Wouldn't it be carnivore? Anyway, that's a whole nother episode. It features a silver debossed Van Halen logo from the band's 1978 World Tour. The book is presented in a black clamshell box featuring the Van Halen emblem, surrounded by Alex's
a vegan clamshell.
Burning. I did not say a vegan clamshell.
I just want to know.
It's a vegan leather bound book.
Is it like leaves of lettuce? Vegan leather? What is vegan leather?
Why are you doing this to me?
I'm genuinely confused.
It's a legit question. Not only does this come in a black clamshell box featuring the Van Halen emblem, the collector box set includes a series of replicas drawn from the Van Halen archive, a 1979 Van Halen production keychain, 3 Eddie Van Halen guitar picks faithfully reproduced from his stage-used designs, 6 by 4-inch art postcards, and a 7-inch vinyl record. Track details have not been announced yet. It is important for me to repeat the words replicas. You are not getting authentic Eddie Van Halen guitar picks, or 79 Productions keychain, replicas, reproduced. All of this can be yours for the low, low price of $475.
Wow.
If you are a fan, or you could also get it for $156.75 per month if you finance it through whoever. I didn't click that button. So,
is Vinnie Vincent involved in this?
Oh, I don't know.
Wow.
Yes. If you order now, no, I'm not even going to say that because somebody's going to be like, we're going to get sued because somebody's going to say, oh, TBT and Ace said that you get the freaking album. No, not even going to go there. So anyway, $475. If you are interested in this, let us know. We will send you the link. Buy two us two as well. Yeah.
You said this goes up to 1984, the record.
Correct.
So Alex is doubling down on not talking about post David Lee Roth Van Halen.
It does appear that way.
Because really, you could do one whole book on Roth Van Halen, and you could do another one on the Van Hagar stuff because there's so much. That career spans a long set of years. But no, he's not doing that.
I know. It's a very cool looking book. It's a very cool looking publication. The vegan leather looks pretty badass. It looks like a cool box.
It's a cool collector's item for sure.
Oh, it absolutely is. However, I'm going to be wearing white gloves if I'm ordering a book that costs $475 and I'm only getting replica things to go with it.
And you're not eating Taco Bell while you're reading this, are you?
Heck no. You're not even eating White Castle.
Why would you eat White Castle anyway?
Probably just not even eating. Nor are you having breakfast for dinner.
I like breakfast for dinner, but
she knows who I'm talking about.
Is there going to be a regular version of this book for regular normal people?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't want to miss out on the history of Van Halen as told by a founding member.
Did you say member?
A founding member.
That's as bad
I
as
don't want to
being
miss
a tart
out.
chopper.
I mean, he could have a lot to say in here.
Agreed. My question is, are we going to have an audio version that costs, like $8.99?
Well, that's where Vinnie Vincent comes in because you get tracks as you pay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Just as a background, Genesis Publications, the ones that are publishing this book, they create some of the world's most sought-after books for readers in 90 countries, working in the past with authors such as George Harrison, Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page, Eric Clapton, and with recent authors, including Cat Stevens, Def Leppard, Chuck D., Lenny Kravitz, the Beach Boys, and the Doors. So, yeah, go spend your hard-earned money and get that book. Get two, please, because we want to read it. Speaking of books, if you are a hardcore fan of some good thrash metal, especially thrash metal from the 80s and early 90s, you're in for a treat, as the kids say. Holding My Breath, The Two Testaments of Chuck Billy, is the new memoir from a legendary thrash singer that is coming this fall. Of course, Chuck Billy, who is the lead vocalist for Testament. Hence, the Two Testaments. So, put that together. Anyway, due November 10th, the book, which is co-written by Chuck Billy and some other dude, explores the dual parts of the frontman's life, plunging fans into the early Bay Area thrash scene from which Testament arose, which is the Old Testament. That Old Testament portion places emphasis on the band's formation and subsequent rise to global stardom. Right. The New Testament tells a much different story, In 2001, at the age of 38, Billy received a cancer diagnosis that forced and forever altered his outlook on life. His peers, of course, rallied for support, and a Thrash of the Titans benefit concert was held, further anchoring the singer in the fight as he also pulled from his Native American and Mexican American heritage. Billy himself states, this book is about two versions of me that are really just one story. The guy who thought he was invincible and the guy who learned how fragile life really is. The foreword of this book, this memoir, has been provided by none other
I saw that.
than Rob Halford, of course, from Judas Priest. And in something that you would expect only from Chuck Billy and Testament, there's an afterword, because you know that it's the forward and then there's the book and then there's the afterword. That is provided by Randy Blythe, of course, from Lamb of God. This has the potential to be a very, very, very good read.
It sounds like it's going to be a very revealing read.
Yes. I don't know how many people that listen to this podcast, or whether live or afterwards, have actually sat and listened to Testament and listened to their music. They are one of my favorite thrash bands from back in the day. This, as you just pointed out, this could be one of the most telling books that hit shelves in a very long time. I am really, really, really looking forward to this one.
I think sometimes these books are like documentaries that you don't have to be a fan of that style of music to enjoy the book.
For sure.
I don't know Testament the way you do, but I would probably give this a go just because it's music related, and it's going to be very in depth and revealing. I think. I think heavy metal guys and thrash metal guys don't have a problem, in a sense, bearing their soul, so to speak, because they're just very honest about it.
Right. I am trying to. I'm going to pull up a song. I'm obviously not going to play it because I don't want this. I don't want this podcast episode to get banned because, you know, copyright infringement and we get strikes and all that fun stuff. One of my favorite albums came out from Testament. Of course, it was called Practice What You Preach. That album was released in 1989. If you want to listen to a song from Testament and understand what they are about, I highly recommend the 6-minute and 9-second song called The Ballad, because every band in the 80s or early 90s had to have a ballad. So if you're going to have a ballad, you might as well call it The Ballad. Listen to that. Again, that is from the 1989 album Practice What You Preach. It is Testament. The name of the song is The Ballad. It is the 8th track. Listen to that. And then you'll be like, oh, okay. Yeah, I like that. That's good. Real thrashy and there's metal. And then you can start the album at the number 1 song, which is Practice What You Preach, and then keep going through the rest of them. And then when you decide to stop listening to Testament, let me know how far you got.
Right. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, just let us know. Speaking of music, we've got some new music coming. And this one is pretty interesting because in what is being said, I believe, is their 323rd album that they've put out over the last 500 years. Earlier today, or maybe even yesterday, I don't know, the Rolling Stones announced the release of their highly anticipated new studio album entitled Foreign Tongues, arriving July 10th from Capitol Records. This is how it's described. The incredibly vibrant 14-track collection follows less than 3 years after the band's universally acclaimed Grammy Award-winning Hackney Diamonds, yes, which was a very good album, and top charts worldwide and achieved multi-platinum success. The new album will be introduced by the upbeat and infectious lead single, In the Stars, which will be released digitally yesterday. Yes, I've already listened to it. Alongside the album's opening track, Rough and Twisted. In the Stars receives a physical release on May 15th, so you're looking at next week. Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, and Ronnie Wood are set to attend a media launch for Foreign Tongues later yesterday in Brooklyn, New York. I've listened to it. It is absolutely the Stones. Does Mick Jagger still sound like Mick Jagger? Yes. And he's like 99 years old.
Yes. They
It's
amaze me.
good. If you're a fan of the Rolling Stones, go check those tracks out. It is the Rolling Stones.
Yeah. The bands of that era, the Stones are my favorite. And I'm fascinated by just their unrelenting desire to keep touring and producing new music. We talked about it a couple of years ago when they were touring for Hackney Diamonds, and Mick Jagger, who is in his 80s, is running back and forth on the stage, sprinting like a kid. They are an amazingly youthful, spirited group, and I'm all for hearing this. I haven't listened to it. I'm glad you have, and I'm glad you said it was good.
Yeah,
Now I want to hear it.
The recording during an exceptionally creative period, Foreign Tongues was brought to life in under a month in West London, with Jagger, Richards, and Ronnie Wood reuniting with Grammy-winning producer Andrew Watt. This is not the first time any of you listeners have heard anything or heard us talk about Andrew Watt. But he also helmed Hackney Diamonds, so it's really going to be a big thing. The album features standout performances, of course, from the Rolling Stones alongside their core collaborators. It also includes a special appearance from Charlie Watts, which was captured during one of his final recording sessions before his untimely passing in 2021. Additional contributions from an impressive lineup of guests include Steve Winwood, Paul McCartney, Robert Smith from The Cure, and Chad Smith of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Why Nuno Bettencourt wasn't on this album, I do not know.
He was busy.
I was getting ready to say because he was busy working with somebody else. So yeah, when did I say that was coming out? November?
No.
May 15th.
Yeah.
No.
So
that's when In the Stars, one of the opening tracks.
One of the tracks.
One of the singles comes out on May 15th physically. But yeah, July 10th is when the entire record comes out. I don't have a track listing.
That's actually pretty quick for something like that these days. A lot of times we're 6 months out, it feels like.
Well, they got to get it out so they can enjoy it.
Yeah. So I'm glad that's cool. They're getting it out rather quickly.
Yes, very cool. So we're going to check it out because wouldn't it be crazy if that ended up being our top album of 2026?
The last one was number 2 on my list. And you know what beat it? Metallica's record that came out.
Yeah. I just hope they get Sydney Sweeney to do another music video. So in some weirdly somber yet interesting news coming out of what used to be the Metallica camp. So back in the day when Jason Newsted left Metallica, the big thing, the big thing was Jason Newsted was fired. He got kicked out of the band because he wanted to do all this stuff with a side gig, which he called Echo Brain. Which they did have some stuff out. There was stuff on the radio from Echo Brain. And that James Hetfield basically said, no, you're Metallica 100% or you're nothing. And Jason said, screw you, I'm out of here, I'm doing Echo Brain. Well, not so fast. Contraire, mon frere. In a recent interview, former Metallica bassist Jason Newsted revealed the real reason. I used air quotes there if you're not watching, on why he left the band in 2001, which is hard to believe because I did not realize it had been 25 years that he left the band. Anyway, it was not a conflict of interest with his other bandmates in Echo Brain. There's some things that I want to specifically point out here. Newsted previously claimed that his departure from Metallica was hastened by his work with the alt metal band Echo Brain. So those rumors were fueled by Jason Newsted. Metallica members were discouraged from pursuing side projects. That's all the stuff I said, but apparently that's not the full story. In a recent interview, Jason Newsted said, "One thing I want to straighten out or just comment on is the Echo Brain thing. That was another project that I took to a certain level. This one was just more promising and it took to a different place, but it's not the reason I left Metallica." So you're sitting there or driving asking yourself, well, why did he leave Metallica? This is where it gets interesting. The reason I left Metallica is because I was a horrible addict. He continues, "I was way up against myself, and if I didn't get some kind of help, I was going to die. And so I just said, you guys, can I have a minute? Please give me a minute." And allegedly, they said no.
Which is crazy to think about.
Do you have to believe it? No. Is it true? Don't know. Jason Newsted's exit certainly wasn't for a lack of love. He continues, "I would rather live than be in your band. I love being in your band. I think it's kind of obvious. I wear your shirt every night." No. I wear our shirt every night. I fly my colors every night. I meet every person that wants to meet and represent us for all of the fans every night. Don't tell me I'm not committed. Don't tell me I'm not loyal. Don't tell me. I'm always the first one in and the last one out. I'm not saying the words. It's history. It's real. You can't give me that minute to get my head straight again, then I have to go. Not that I don't love you, and certainly not that I'm not committed to this band, but it was not because of Echo Brain. To me, that is very interesting news because that's been the rumor for 25 years now. That was the whole thing. He wanted to do the Echo Brain thing. James said no. For 25 years to pass, and now Jason Newsted to come out and say, "No, I was an addict, and they wouldn't give me the time."
Which is incredibly plausible. That would be the reason. And
sure.
And if this is what happened, good for Jason Newsted for not caving in,
for sure,
and staying with the band and then spiraling down in a worse pattern. Good for him to take his health seriously.
Right.
And I wonder if the original rumor about Echo Brain was a spin job, because which sounds worse? We won't let you do the other band on a side thing, or we won't let you go to rehab. Which sounds worse?
But that brings up a good point. Is that what was said? Hey, you can go, but we're not going to call this rehab. You need to focus on Echo Brain. Is that what we call rehab now? Echo Brain? Is that what an addiction is now? Is Echo Brain? I don't know. Jason Newsted is, of course, currently gearing up for his first ever U.S. headlining tour with the Chop House Band, which is his new effort, which will take place in July and includes several dates opening for Blackberry Smoke. So if you're a fan of Blackberry Smoke and you see the band Chop House Band, that is Jason Newsted's.
Not only that, he is not playing bass, I don't think. I think he is singing. Jason is, I believe.
Which works, because if you've been to a Metallica concert where Jason Newsted was there, he sang, and he did good. Another thing that came out during this interview, there were many stories that came out of this one interview, but Going on with this tour, it is a good thing, especially after he recently received a free and clear health update after undergoing treatment for throat cancer last year. Something else that was not out there. Jason Newsted, a very private person, for him to release so much of this stuff in one interview is very unlike him. But he's coming clean about a lot of stuff. Rehab. Now we're coming clean about, I had throat cancer, but now I've got the free and clear. Going on tour, singing versus playing bass. So kudos to Jason Newsted. And if you guys are going to watch Blackberry Smoke, make sure Chop House Band is the opener so that you too can see Jason Newsted and Chop House Band. We have 4 minutes and we have one more story. And boy, did we save the best for last. Because Ace, I don't know about you, but there's nothing I want more than to smell. No, not what the rock is cooking. No, that's where you thought I was going. I want to smell like the Prince of Darkness.
Yes.
Yes, the essence of death, the essence of bat blood. I want to smell like the Prince of Darkness. Ozzy Osbourne's favorite cologne is getting a special limited release so fans can smell like the Prince of Darkness, or at least what he smelled like for the past 3 decades. It was quickly announced after they said that it was going to get released that it was already sold out. Oh, but that's nothing. There's a kicker to that. The London-based fragrance brand Check and Speak. Yes, that's Czech as in like Czechoslovakia. It's spelled the same way with a C and a Z, but they're London-based. Anyway, they shared a post on social media on April 29th, so about a week ago, announcing a limited edition batch of their iconic number 88 cologne, which was Ozzy's chosen scent for over 30 years. One he wasn't eager to let everyone know about for whatever reason.
No, he didn't want anyone else to smell like him.
Yeah, the moment Ozzy smelled it, he said he wanted to smell like this for the rest of his life. And he did. Every concert, every city, every room he walked into. That's what the brand said in the post. I'm skipping the next part because we'll come back to that. According to the product description, number 88 has a fresh, woody top note of reviving bergamot, the richness and warmth of geranium, rose otto, cassie, and exotic frangipani, combined with dry bass notes of vetiver and sandalwood. Can't they just say it makes you smell pretty?
Well, that's what Sharon was saying. He smelled great. Everyone's complimented him.
The special edition of number 88 comes in a black bottle with purple foil.
Like brown oil.
50 euros from every sale go to the Cure Parkinson's proceeds, which is great. A portion of the proceeds from Ozzy and Black Sabbath's legendary Back to the Beginning concert last summer went toward the organization of Well. Again, that's Cure Parkinson's, which of course Ozzy had. The kicker to this is that if you want to smell like the Prince of Darkness, you can do it, well, before it was sold out, for only, not the QVC price of $39.99 plus shipping and handling. This would have cost you $370. I did not stutter. 300.
Are we throwing that in the cart with the Van Halen book?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
It is my understanding that as we throw that into the cart and we throw that book into the cart, it is because I just got a text just a couple minutes ago. I'd show it to you, but my phone locked. Moderator Natalie has said that she is going to go ahead and get both of those for us. She has given us a $1,000 shopping spree, which is just basically enough to buy not only the book, but also buy the cologne so that we too can smell like the Prince of Darkness while reading about Van Halen.
On a serious note, have you ever smelled this stuff?
No, there's nothing serious about $380 perfume.
I've never smelled it. I don't know what it smells like. What's so great about it? Oh, wait. It's the Bergamer or the Velveteer.
Yeah. I thought those were characters in Snow White. I don't know.
Or the Rose Otter.
Rose Otter. That's what it is. The Rose Otter. I'm going to start a band. It's going to be called the Rose Otter. That is episode 180 of the Weekly Pour podcast. We thank you guys for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to give us a call. Leave us a voicemail. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up if you're watching the chat. If you're listening, be sure to leave us a 5-star comment because we don't accept anything lower than 4. So you can do 4 or 5. But that's what we've got. We will see you guys next week. And we thank you for joining us.